The Office of the Auditor General transmitted this report on IT controls in July 2012. To read the full report and other supplementary documents, please visit our website at www.bcauditor.com. The following presentation provides an overview of the report. As the nonpartisan, independent auditor of the Legislative Assembly, the Auditor General audits the government reporting entity. This consists of ministries, crown corporations, and other government organizations, such as universities, colleges, school districts, health authorities, and similar organizations that are controlled by or accountable to the provincial government. The Office of the Auditor General serves the people of British Columbia and their elected representatives by conducting independent audits and advising on how well government is managing its responsibilities and resources. Under the Auditor General Act, the auditor conducts and reports on both financial audits and performance, or value for money, audits. The Act also allows the Auditor General to follow up on any recommendations made in reports. The BC Public Service is increasingly relying on IT to gather information and deliver services. The public's expectation for personalized IT services is also increasing. This is driving the development of more complex IT applications. Public sector organizations must also protect the accuracy, integrity, and confidentiality of IT systems and the data they contain. In our work, Canadian assurance standards require public sector auditors to obtain an understanding of the entities they audit, including their business environment and internal controls. This helps auditors identify and assess risks and make audit strategies to ensure that financial statements are prepared correctly. Every year, our office, along with a number of private accounting firms, audits the financial statements of the government reporting entity, made up of 163 organizations in fiscal year 2011. We communicate our audit findings to each of these in management letters. Management letters identify problems that need to be addressed, which can include issues related to information technology and information collection and management. This report summarizes IT issues resulting from our assessment of financial applications. It is based on financial statement audit work done for fiscal years ending March 31st, June 30th, and December 31st, 2011. We reviewed the audit findings in 154 management letters and found that 30% of the identified issues related to IT general controls deficiencies. Because of the significance of this percentage, we reviewed the findings more closely and identified larger, more systemic issues and risks. We organized these issues into 5 categories. Information security management, which relates to ensuring that IT systems and data are protected. Information technology control environment, which describes organizational IT leadership tone and culture. Available data processing, which relates to maintaining business operations at all times. Change management, which relates to updating and replacing IT systems in a controlled and coordinated manner. Physical security, which describes protecting IT systems from physical threats. Of these categories, information security management had the most documented weaknesses, followed by IT control environment. However, before drawing any conclusions, there are some limits to consider. For example, management letters are not standardized documents. Their contents depend on what auditors view to be the key risks to organizational financial reporting at the time of their audit. Overall, though, these findings do indicate weak IT controls in government, and while some of these control gaps may seem insignificant, they can leave an organization vulnerable to serious threats when combined with other control gaps. Strong information security management decreases the likelihood of corporate data or personal information being used for fraudulent purposes. In our detailed analysis, we found that 55% of IT-related management letter issues related to inadequate information security management. For example, we found that account management to ensure that only appropriate users accessed sensitive information was poor. Strong passwords and periodic changes of passwords were not enforced. And separation of duties within IT operations to ensure that no one is in the position to conceal illegal acts or frauds was inadequate. A strong IT control environment is necessary for identifying, assessing, and resolving threats on a timely basis and contributes to meeting business objectives. Our review found that 17% of IT-related issues related to the IT control environment. For example, we found that IT strategic plans and policies weren't in place or up to date. IT staff training wasn't up to date with rapid changes in technology, and contract management processes were insufficient to hold contractors or service providers accountable for their deliverables and security measures. Change management is necessary to decrease both the risks of information being processed incorrectly as well as the risks to service disruptions. Inadequate change management increases the chance of information being lost or access being granted to unauthorized persons. We found that 15% of IT-related issues related to change management. For example, in some instances, there were no policies or procedures to guide testing and implementation of software or system changes. IT changes were not documented or signed off on properly, and post-implementation reviews to ensure that changes were made correctly were not conducted. 11% of IT-related issues in our analysis related to the availability of data processing, specifically failing to maintain effective, up-to-date disaster recovery plans and backup data off-site. Both of these are necessary to ensure that normal business operations are restored efficiently and effectively in the event of human error or natural disaster that disrupts data processing. Finally, good physical security measures help prevent attackers or even accidental intruders from stealing equipment and accessing important data. Public sector organizations must always be vigilant in designing security measures to balance security features and tolerant amount of personal access against important and sensitive assets. In our analysis, we found that only 2% of IT-related issues identified a lack of adequate physical security. This does not, however, provide assurance that physical security is well managed in the public sector. Physical security has the least immediate impact to the overall accuracy of financial reporting. Therefore, some auditors may not have reviewed this control category closely. As government continues to rely on sophisticated IT systems to save costs, share data, and capture valuable information, the need for ensuring data quality and integrity for financial reporting will only increase. The Office of the Auditor General of BC will continue to review the design and existence of general computer controls that are significant to financial statement audits. Expand the scope of general control reviews to include key application controls for operating effectiveness. Conduct IT performance audits that will have a positive influence on government and its entities in IT security management practices. We will be publishing an annual report on IT-related audit findings and tracking government's progress on addressing the risks associated with adopting various forms of IT in their businesses. We are also working on several IT-related audits, which we expect to release later in 2012. That concludes our summary of this report. To read this report and our other publications, or for more information about our office, please visit our website at www.bcauditor.com. The Office of the Auditor General encourages your feedback on this report as well as your suggestions for further audits. We look forward to hearing from you.